Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another interview. My name is Jeff, and I'm here with PDK today, DPS from Dill Ducks. PDK, why don't you introduce yourself to the fans out there?
Hi, PDK. My name's Carson. I play DPS for the Dill Ducks, and I've been playing Overwatch for about 7 years now.
Oh, my. Oh, I've heard you refer to Scary Terry there on Twitter.
Very, very.
You've had a fascinating career, and talking about DPS player, obviously the biggest hero pool. What is your favorite hero to play? I mean, outside of meta, outside of competing, just what hero do you actually enjoy just playing the most?
Probably Pharah. Honestly, I don't play very much in actual games,
Okay.
but it's definitely like I played it a lot in college because I'm like the more flex DPS for my team, and I hit scan. But it's definitely my favorite to play. It's just a lot more satisfying for me, but I never play it as much as I want to.
A little bit of a guilty pleasure there
Yeah.
in the forest. Now it's always fascinating to me how players make the jump from just enjoying heroes like that and just playing the game to getting into competing. How did you make that jump from being an average gamer to getting into competitive Overwatch?
I started playing on the PS4 very like casually. I was like, I don't know, like 12 or 13 years old, so I didn't really have a lot. And then my brother gave me his old PC, and then I started competing in like smaller tournaments when I was like gold plat and like Overwatch Tranquility and BPL, and then I was playing in those for a few years, and then I don't know, about a year or so ago, I started like actually trying to like compete and become like a pro, like top eight or WCS and everything. Once Owl fizzled out, it was a lot easier for me to rationalize spending more time to play.
Yeah, we have kind of entered a new era of our ecosystem. I mean, which has left a lot of room, and I think there is room for growth, and we're starting to see that next generation come up. I definitely say you're a part of that, my friend. I definitely say you're a part of that. Um, Now, your Wikipedia history paints an interesting picture. So you're talking about just coming into playing over the past year or two, but you've got managerial experience listing back. I mean, just some top tier T2, T3 teams. Back in the contenders days. I'm thinking GeForce,
Yeah.
Strider, and the Sombra of St. Louis there in Pubby. Those days. Tell us about that. How did you get into that and uniquely kind of combining managing and playing? How did that come to be?
Well, in high school, I was really busy a lot. I did like a lot of like extracurriculars in sports, so I didn't really have the time to dedicate to like scrimming 2 blocks a day every day to like compete. So I thought managing was like the next best way to like kind of meet everyone and kind of like get my name out there. And so I started with Regen back in 2021 was like my first team, and then I built GeForce along with Micro, and then it kind of went to Dice Gaming back when contenders with like Gig and Switch, and then most recently into like Pirates and Pajamas for like the better part of a year. So it was just a lot easier for me to like manage than it was to play at the time.
And get your foot in the door and kind of network and learn what it means to compete kind of
Yeah.
thing.
It kind of like gave me like a really good idea of like how much these players like really commit time, especially like after
Hmm.
contenders died. Um, or like not contenders, like once contenders was over, there was a really like big period between the last game of Owl and the last game of contenders. So at the
Right.
time, Pip would scrim Owl pretty much every day, and I would like talk to like their coaches and stuff and like other managers and just like kind of talk about how much like time these people put in, and it's like 12 to 14 hours a day every day, and it kind of gave me like a sense of like what I have to do to compete with like those kind of players and the players who just only want to win and have won these past few years.
Was the goal always to be a player? Were you looking to learn so that you become a better player? Was that the idea from the get go?
Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to be like a top player. It just hasn't been like viable with like time constraints until I moved out to college, because of like my like just with like my parents and jobs and stuff. But since I've been here, I've had a lot of time to play, and it's become like a lot easier. But I mean, definitely wanted to be a top player. Ever since I started playing, it's like I'm a very competitive person, so whenever I put my all into something, it's I want to become the best at it. So that's definitely something that I've been like that's been driving me this past few months, especially since I've kind of only started playing at this level recently. And it's just I don't do something without putting my all into it, and that's kind of what I've been doing right now.
Um, was there a moment when that clicked? Was there an actual aha moment that made you decide, like, okay, we can do this. I can do this. I'm gonna give all of my attention, 120 myself into becoming the best player I can. Was there a moment that flipped that switch on for you?
I think there was two big ones. With like the start of FPL and like the pugs and everything, it kind of gave me a better chance to like prove myself to like the top three teams, like the Liquids and the Space Stations and all their players. And I think once I placed like third in the rankings, and like everyone was kind of saying like how much I've improved, and it kind of made me feel a lot better as a player. And then
Yeah.
like game wise, with like collegiate, my team reverse swept Northwood, and it kind of made me prove that it kind of made me think that I could kind of beat anyone as long as I have my game and my day. And like the more grind I put in, the better I can perform. Because before that game, I was playing for like 8 hours, and I was just hitting every shot. And like after that game, and like getting DM'd by some of their players saying like how well I played and how I'm up next, it just kind of gave me a lot of confidence and a big boost to like want to improve more and play more.
That's amazing. That is so awesome. The Northern players actually reaching out and giving you some congrats. That's really cool.
Yeah, no, it felt really good. Especially with, like Lep and CJ, who are people I've known for a long time, just like managing,
Yeah.
and then like kind of getting the respect as a player helped me a lot. Especially Lep, he's kind of always been there for me, like in a way of like if you need anything, I'm here, and just stuff like that. He's always been super kind. So like hearing those words from him meant a lot because he's been around contenders and Owl and top Overwatch in general for the past 5 years. So like
Oh yeah.
hearing it from him, who's like a staple in the scene, really helped.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's super nice guy. Absolutely
Yeah.
super nice guy. Let's talk about collegiate for a minute. So, I mean, my thinking is, we've seen you more, and I'm more familiar with you on Dill Ducks, but you've been playing on University of Utah here for the past year. I mean, here we're talking about where you got that win over Northwood. How has playing in collegiate continued to inspire that? Now, you've talked about it's given you a platform to kind of get to play DPS more, but what's different in playing this collegiate environment than like playing in the Path to Pro environment, and how has that influenced your career as a player?
I think in a way it's a lot less stressful to play in collegiate than it is to play in FACEIT, because in FACEIT you have a lot of these things to play for, but in collegiate it's kind of more just you're kind of playing to beat the other. I don't know, it's like very weird to like kind of like say it, but you're kind of just playing one team at a time in collegiate, and it's like you don't ever really look
Right.
towards like the big picture of it. And I think it kind of helps you a lot to just like play in the moment, at least for me. Because it's like in these FACEIT games, like especially like these playoff games, like you're playing and then you're always looking ahead. But like when I load into a like college game, it's just I'm playing right there, right then, not thinking about what's next. And then my collegiate teammates have helped me a lot to kind of improve as a player, and like they've always been here for me too when I need it. So it's kind of nice having that stability in Overwatch as well.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. That's got to be so important for the mental.
Yeah.
And I've heard over the years just how important, I mean, just the mental game is half the battle.
Yeah.
But being able to stay focused in the moment, that makes a lot of sense, not letting the stakes of anything kind of overwhelm and kind of get in your head a bit.
Yeah, they're really good at calming me down. I'm a very nervous player. A lot of the times, like I get really like sucked into the game, and it's hard for me to like not jitter or not calm down. So like my collegiate teammates have helped me a lot with like calming my nerves in like big matches, or like just reminding me to breathe, take a breath, take it one fight at a time. And it's kind of something I've done more for Dill Ducks. Is like I've kind of become that player for Dill Ducks, and I think
Right.
just kind of like being able to like understand to like calm down in games. My collegiate teams helped me a lot with that, which I think is really important for like big matches.
Those are some really good
Yeah,
teammates.
they're the
Those are some
best.
good teammates. Yeah. Let's touch back on how did managing affect your career as a player? Looking back now, how did those early years kind of influence and point you to where you are? Besides, I mean, I guess you did kind of touch on just the time commitment. Was there any other perspective that was gleaned from those years?
I think just the ability to watch like the top players in my role, especially like in Overwatch 2 when I was managing Pirates and Pajamas, they would constantly scrim like the Owl teams, the World Cup teams. So like being like, because I was still playing a lot during that time, but just not like competitively. I was play ranked, and I was still
Sure.
like top 500, top 100, something like around there. So I was like, all right. And then like being able to like watch like Quartz and Lip and Proper just absolutely dominate and like just understand like their positioning, their macro understanding, and like also being able to like pick the brains of coaches for the teams I was on and the teams we were scrimming helped me a
Yeah, that's
lot
so
to like
cool.
understand like the push and pull and just kind of like all the macro understanding of Overwatch. So like kind of coming into it, I had like a pretty good understanding of the game. It's a dilduck, so I just had to like improve my mechanical skill. And I feel like it's a lot easier to improve your mechanics than it is to improve your game sense. So I think it helped me a lot, just kind of like bridge the gap so easily.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, it takes longer for the game sense to become second
Because
nature. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, this kind of brings us to Dill Ducks. What a unique squad,
Yeah.
right? Like, it seems like both on and off the battlefield, both in game and out. This seems like such a unique squad. How did you meet this team? What appealed to you about the squad? What was the duck-like magnetism that pulled you in?
I posted like LFT as manager originally, and then like I got like a like Nogfriend sent like a rooster out to like they sent like a bird out with a letter, and it like landed on my doorstep, and it said, "Would you like to join the Dill Ducks?" I like I like passenger mail, so like I had a response. It took like 5 days or so for the pigeon to fly back to him, and then he sent me an invite to the server, and then they were playing like the Masters promotion or like the Masters qualifier, and then that's when right when Amadou left to join Team Vex, so they're kind of needed a hit scan, and then they originally had Victory, and we still have Victory, and then I was like, "Okay, just put me as a sub, like I just want to like prove myself," and then after we played Midori and we 3-0'd them, and then I kind of took a starting spot, and I haven't really looked back since, which is really funny to think that I was supposed to be on the squad as a manager, and now we're like top 3 with like me starting. It's just kind of surreal. Like 4 months ago, I was just supposed to book these guys scrims. It's just really funny.
And now you're sitting here talking about what it means to be a top DPS. Yeah. That is amazing. What a story. What a story. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I had a follow-up. Hold on, let me grade it. Editors, I know. Apologies to the editors right here. I was going to go off script for a second. Oh, yes! Okay, so you also bring a unique hero pool.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of touched on Victory, and Victory seems, is more traditional, like long-range hit scan.
Yeah.
That's just kind of what we know from Victory. But you bring this unique hero pool where we're seeing Sojourn, we're seeing Tracer, we're seeing some interesting things. How does that fit in? And is this kind of part of the success with Dill Ducks? Because I've seen the comp from y'all that I'm calling the glitch comp. And it's the ball, Sombra, Tracer, Moira. That thing? Yeah. That, like, what a wild comp. How does your skill set play into this? It seems too cool to be true.
I started as a flex DPS and transitioned to hit scan, so I still have like really good comfort on all those heroes. And the glitch comp, I don't know when it came to be. It's just one game. Redix is like, I'm dying too much. I'm gonna play Moira. And I was like, all right, like cool. I guess we're just gonna lose the game. And then we just like actually just like pounded the other team, and we were like, this could be the comp. So we started playing it a lot more, and we just never lost because no one knew how to beat it. Because it was just Redix 180 flanking with me on Tracer, and Razor's just doing whatever he wants on Sombra. It's just 5 people shooting their guns, playing not to die. Like it's just like that's all the comp is. So
I mean, it's why, not only the tie-in with y'all's glitchiness, but it feels like every hero in that comp kind of glitches out. Like you try to go in on them, and they're just like, "Yep, I'm gone." Like. And it is brilliant. I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see this more. Okay. Anyway, I had to go off script on that one. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't even know if it'll make the edit. It's so fun to watch.
I love playing Tracer. It's just I never get to play it because hit scan's so good right now.
And that's, genuinely, your hero pool really fits that so perfectly. Yeah. It's amazing.
We all do. We're all very flexible. Like especially Baz. Like Baz, kind of our unsung hero. He hard grinds the game and can literally play any tank. So it kind of that helps a lot with like how we win a lot. It's just we start D.Va and he can just go ball, or he can go Winston or Hazard or Sig, and it's just he's flawless on every hero. So it's really nice to have a tank like that too.
I was I'm gonna be casting all this weekend on main channel, right? Which is I know. I've never cast on the Overwatch esports channel. Like I'm just
it's my first time.
Same. And so I was doing some research, and I was like, wait a minute, Baz like literally plays everything.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Anyway, yeah, it's pretty amazing. All right, I'll get back on script. All right. Let's do. We got some nitty gritty coming. You've got some really important stuff coming up. You're playing in the Masters Winners Finals is tonight, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it's in 4 hours.
Yeah, it's gonna be in 4 hours. At the beginning of the season, like, what were the goals for this team, and did you expect to find yourself here in top 3 and competing in the winners finals when it was, in this playoffs?
Yeah, we all expected to make it to top 3. I think we were very expected to be Supernova and Extinction and not Radicad. Not because Radicad's like a bad team or anything. It's just coming into the season, everyone had Extinction and Supernova just like penciled in as the top 2 teams.
Of course, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, so like being
I mean,
able to play
honestly.
Ratacat is like a bit of a not relief because they're still a really good team, but like I don't know, like if it was Supernova, it'd be a lot harder of a game just because those players have gotten like I don't know, like they were like fourth in last stage, like upsetting Shock. So like
Yeah.
us being here, we feel very confident going into this game. We beat them before, and we think like we think we can beat any team if we just play how we play. Um, so like going in, we're just gonna like play to win each map, each fight. Just do what we do. Just like kind of take it as any other game and not have it held with like such high stakes. Just go in. If
Yeah.
we lose, we lose. We win, we win. At the end of the day, we're all fine. Like we're all proud of what we've done so far. So
As well, you should be. But you were expecting to get, say, top three behind the two giants.
yeah, we were expecting. We definitely thought Extinction was beatable. So that was kind of our plan is to like hard prep
Hmm.
for Extinction to make it into relegation, and then we beat Extinction last round, and then we went in expecting to play Supernova, and then we saw Supernova got upset too. So we were like really excited to play Ratacat because I have a lot of friends on that team, and I think all of us do. So it's definitely like a
Sure.
lot of a match that we prefer to play, for sure.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. I obviously I can't get it on stream because I gotta get Supernova
Yeah,
Extinction
that's
on
gonna be a great game.
I've got to get that one on stream, man.
That's gonna be a good one.
But I know y'all versus Radcat is gonna be a banger as well. I wish they were staggered so I could get them both. Um, uh, let's see. Looking back at this season, what was your toughest matchup, and what did you take away from that match? Did that stick with y'all through the rest of the season? Did that affect the trajectory of the Dill Ducks?
I don't. There was like one for the rest of the team. I didn't plan it. It was our first loss against the Emote Down Mid team, and we kind of
Yeah.
realized to never play a game past 9 p.m. Because that game started like 10, and we're old. Like my team is so old, so it's just like
It,
they all have like bedtimes. So like Basil's past his bedtime, Redix is past his bedtime. Razor's like I don't know, he's like uncle now. So like we kind of realized start a game at 9 EST. But I think other like the most important like I don't know like gameplay wise, I think it's probably our loss against Extinction. It was like the first time we've ever been like dismantled by a team. So
right.
it kind of like gave us like clarity of we might actually need a scrim and VOD to try to win. We still haven't, but it kind of gave us a thought.
I planted a little bit of a seed. Still watering it, hoping it'll
Yeah.
grow. um, uh, now I was just gonna say, I guess it is important to learn things out of game too,
Yeah.
like getting enough rest and the balance of I mean, like having a good meal and all that's super important. Like, don't
Yeah.
overlook that.
I just ate. It's like I always eat like 3 or 4 hours for the match just so I feel good.
Smart, yeah, that's smart. Let's see. Looking back at, I mean, just kind of looking back at your socials, I noticed, I mean, you became a lot more active, like literally in the past month.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of, I want to get better. I want to prove I can do this. I want to show my skills to the world. What are some of the things you have been focusing on to do that, to improve?
Just playing the game a lot, to be honest. A lot of
Okay.
FPL. I actually think that is like one of the best things Overwatch has implemented for like pro players to like improve in a very long time. Or not pro players, any player
Why is
really.
that?
It's just you just get reps against the best players in the world, and it's just I don't know. When you're playing ranked, you can kind of get away with a lot of stuff you shouldn't like, and then you try to do it in a game, and you just can't get away with it. So like when you're playing against pros who will like constantly like check you and like punish you if you ever overposition or get too greedy, it kind of like makes you think a lot about the game in a way that rank hasn't for me. And I also think like self-vodding too is really important. Or like I watch like lip vods all the time because he's just the best player in the world, at least for like my role. So
Right.
like just watching VODs and just like understanding what makes your role win in a team setting has kind of been really important to me.
That's awesome. And really cool about FPL. Yeah, I mean, you'll learn to make fewer mistakes because those mistakes get punished more.
Yeah.
What separates you from OWCS? Is it simply a couple of wins you got ahead of you, or are there more intangibles than that? You're talking about watching lip vods. I mean, I think that's a wonderful comparison. What are some of those intangibles there?
I think for me, it's just playing and improving. I think it's just pretty simple. I think for the team, it's just a few wins and maybe like a few more scrims. We scrimmed 3 times in the past 3 months. So I think if we maybe get at least 3 more, we'll be okay. Hopefully.
Double down.
I hope.
Yeah.
I know it's crazy. But we also have really bad schedules, so we've never really been able to scrim because we all have collegiate or like work. So
Right.
I think the more we scrim and the more we VOD, we play a lot better. So we just have to keep doing that, and I think we can. I think we can beat any team. To be honest, I don't think there's a team we can't beat if we don't have the right practice for it.
I agree with that. I agree. I believe. I believe. Um, you've got a lot of important matches this week, so I mean I think your short-term goals are pretty obvious here. What are some long-term goals for the rest of the year, both you as a player and for DhillDucks as a squad?
For me as a player, my goal, I want to get on a like an actual org, like a partner team. That's like been a big goal of mine to like just make it as a pro and like kind of show that it doesn't matter where you came from. Like I came from a manager and you can make it to whatever. So it'd be really important to
Yeah.
me. And then for like DhillDucks as a whole, just kind of like maintaining the top 8. Because it's just kind of like a scrimless, kind of like for a fun team to make top 8 constantly. It's just I think really cool and kind of shows that like you don't have to double block every day to be one of the top teams. Um, and it's just funny. Like I don't know, it's just like Dill Ducks in top 8. It's just like so funny to us, and we just want to keep it there. Just because we're like the only non-org team that would make it. Everyone else would like have an actual org and an actual like backing behind it.
Right. I can't wait. I hope y'all make it.
Me
I mean,
too.
it's always a joy. It's always a joy to watch y'all play. It's always a joy to get you on
Always fun to
stream
play.
every single time. Well, thank you so much for taking the time
Of
to come
course.
do this interview, PDK. Where can fans find you online?
I stream FPL and ranked on twitch.tv/PDKkid with a 1 instead of the I, and then the Twitter handle's the same. So if you ever want to watch, come watch FPL. I'm live pretty much every day playing it. So yeah,
There you go. Do it, friends. Go follow PDK. Thank you once again. I
of
really
course. Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
That's going to do it for us here today, but we'll see you around in the next one.
See ya.
All right, bye, friends.